My name is Andrea and I work as a strategist for Poke. A strategist at Poke is primarily responsible for creating strategic narratives around the sort of creative output that the agency produces. So Poke is kind of digitally, creatively led, and my job is to ensure that we get the best of both worlds in terms of what the client wants and sort of what the market wants, and shaping that into something that makes sense and delivers on people's business goals. I am typically involved at the very beginning of a project, so making sure that everyone's off on the right foot, that I set the right strategic direction, that people are very informed about what they're supposed to be doing and they feel confident that they can then go on and deliver. I think it's actually quite a broad mix of skills in things like market research, quantitative, qualitative, business skills, knowledge of a business, how it operates, how it makes money, interpersonal skills that are incredibly important. So we can't just rely on someone else like an account manager or client lead talking to people. We have to be out there, we have to be facing clients every single time. And conversely, internally, we also have to brief creatives and inspire them, make them feel like their work is really important in the big picture. I was at school in Romania as a child, and then I came here for university. I decided to come to England primarily because I knew that English, well, on one hand, English skills were a big asset to me, so I thought they would be completely lost if I went and studied in Romania. On the other hand, my family had always wanted to move abroad, so there had been that desire, but it never materialised for my parents' work reasons, I suppose. And the third one was I knew what I wanted to study. I knew that I wanted to do advertising and branding and be in the creative industries, but I didn't have the chance to study that over there. So these three kind of big forces just all joined up into one. I picked my degree based on what I wanted to study. So through the UCAS process, I just picked the 6 top universities I thought offered a good advertising and brand management related degree. And after I got accepted, I think it was a case of what's the nicest, most fun and interesting university town out of all of those I had applied to, and I picked Manchester. So I studied at Manchester Metropolitan University. My first job was at an agency in Manchester. It was a digital agency actually. It was at J. Walter Thompson. They'd only just started a new department, and I was recruited by them whilst I was still at university. So towards the end of the final year, I was just doing exams and going to all sorts of talks and trying to see what the industry is like. It was a bit of a turning point. I thought I'll either stay in Manchester and carry on working there, or I'll try and make a move down into London. And a lot of people at the time advised me that it's probably better to have the first stepping stone in Manchester and try to build up a bit of experience up there. So I kind of followed that and started going to industry meetings, a lot of talks, got to know a bunch of people, and I think that's kind of how it happened. My first big project was a pitch. It was a pitch we did with Publicis, the first kind of engagement since Poke was bought by Publicis. Unfortunately, we didn't win the pitch. It was fair and square, but now I'm doing all sorts of other exciting projects. So we've launched a property development in East London on the former Olympic Park. It's been transformed into a co-working space, and it's going to be London's home for making. I'm also doing work with RSPB, helping them shape the new RSPB website and how RSPB engages with people who want to get involved with giving birth a home online. 5 years' time, I think I'd still like to be at Poke. I'd probably like to advance, so goal would be, why not become head of strategy at Poke. The structure is pretty flat, so I think by that time I've probably gathered enough experience of the place and the people, and kind of will have won their hearts and minds, hopefully. I find it really welcoming, so that's why I'm kind of thinking it's a nice place to stay in for quite a long time, despite the industry standard of stay somewhere for 6 months to a year and then leave. So that's made a huge difference.